I was born on February 5th, 1985, in a humble neighborhood in Madeira, Portugal. My family didn't have much. My father, José Dini Savero, was a kitman at a local football club, and my mother, Maria Dolores, worked as a cook and cleaning lady. We lived in a small house, and we had to stretch every euro. I was the youngest of 4 children. My father named me after Ronald Reagan, who was his favorite actor. I didn't know then that I'd grow up to become a name the world would remember. As a child, I didn't think about fame, fortune, or trophies. I only thought about the ball. Football was everything. I would skip meals to play. I'd sneak out of class, and sometimes even cry when I couldn't play. I remember kicking around bottles or rags stuffed into socks if we didn't have a ball. That's how much it meant to me. My early teammates used to call me crybaby, because every time I lost, I'd cry, not because I was weak, but because I hated to lose. That hunger, that fire, it's never left me. At age 12, I left home to go to Lisbon and join Sporting CP's academy. That was the hardest decision of my life, leaving my family, my island, and the only world I knew. I cried a lot during those first few months. I missed my mother's food, my siblings' voices, my dad's laugh. The city felt cold, the people distant, and the days long. But I had a dream to become the best footballer in the world. While other kids were playing video games or going to parties, I was training, doing extra runs, working on my weak foot, building strength. I never drank, never smoked. I was focused. My teammates used to laugh at me for bringing gym equipment to our rooms and doing push-ups before sleeping. I wasn't angry. I knew one day they'd understand why. When I was 15, I was diagnosed with a racing heart. The doctors said I might never play again. That moment froze me. Everything I had given up, everything I had worked for, it could be gone just like that. I underwent surgery, and thank God I recovered. That near death of my dream made me work even harder. Soon after, I started rising through Sporting's ranks. In 2003, during a friendly match against Manchester United, I played one of the best games of my life. I didn't know it then, but Sir Alex Ferguson was watching. A few days later, my life changed forever. I joined Manchester United, a boy in a new country, new culture, and bigger spotlight. England wasn't easy. The weather was gloomy, I didn't speak English, and the physicality of the Premier League was brutal. But I had a teacher, Sir Alex. He was like a second father to me. He believed in me when many didn't. He told me that talent is nothing without hard work, and that stuck with me forever. I remember the veterans teasing me for my stepovers and tricks, calling me a showman. But I wasn't showing off. I was expressing my love for the game. Eventually, they understood. I learned discipline, teamwork, and maturity. I trained harder, watched my diet, analyzed every game, and worked on every weakness. Slowly, I became stronger, mentally, physically, and emotionally. At United, I won my first Ballon d'Or, the Champions League, and multiple Premier League titles. But I wanted more, I always do. In 2009, I signed with Real Madrid, a record-breaking transfer. People said I'd never handle the pressure, the price tag, the expectations. It was all noise to me. I knew who I was. Real Madrid was a dream. Wearing the white jersey, playing at the Bernabeu, scoring goals, breaking records, it was like a movie. But it wasn't always glamorous. I was criticized constantly. Selfish, arrogant, robotic. They judged me without knowing me. I learned to stay silent and let my football speak. I learned to use the criticism as fuel. I trained harder, scored more, and kept breaking barriers. Behind the scenes, I faced personal battles. My father passed away in 2005 due to alcoholism. It broke me. He never got to see the man I became. He never saw me win the Ballon d'Or or hold the Champions League trophy. I remember crying alone in my room, pretending I was okay. I promised myself I'd never let my children feel the pain I felt. That's why family means everything to me. When my son Cristiano Jr. was born, I became a different man, more responsible, more grounded. I may be fierce on the field, but at home I'm just dad, helping with homework, going to school meetings, and tucking them in at night. I don't care about being the GOA when I'm with my kids. I care about being present. People often ask how I deal with fame. The truth is, fame is heavy. You can't go out freely. You can't trust easily. Everyone has an opinion. But I learned to separate Ronaldo the brand from Cristiano the human. My values keep me grounded, discipline, respect, family and faith. I never let money or attention blind me. I still eat simply grilled fish, salad, soup. I sleep early. I train like I'm 20. People laugh, but I love routine. I keep my circle small. Real friends, loyal teammates, and family. That's my world. That's my peace. Then there's Georgina. People think I chose her because she's beautiful. But no, I chose her because of her soul. I met her at a Gucci store where she worked. She didn't treat me like a superstar. She looked at me like a human. She didn't care about the cameras or the fame. She cared about me, the real me. She's the anchor of my life. She helped raise our kids, held me during tough times, and reminded me who I am when the world tried to define me. We talk about everything. Our dreams, fears, hopes. She's not just my partner, she's my best friend. I didn't choose her from the spotlight. I chose her from my heart. I've played in England, Spain, Italy, and now Saudi Arabia. I've won everywhere I went. People thought I was finished after 30. But I showed them age is just a number. What matters is hunger. Every morning I wake up with a purpose to improve. I don't compare myself with others. I compete with the man I was yesterday. That's my secret. That's how I've lasted 2 decades at the top. I've scored over 800 goals, won 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, and played in 5 World Cups. But my proudest moments are not just the trophies. It's the times I lifted my team when we were down, the comebacks, the hard-fought wins, the moments when the world doubted me and I proved them wrong. There were mistakes too, red cards, missed penalties, emotional outbursts. But I never pretended to be perfect. I'm human. I learned from every fall. I forgave those who hurt me. I thank those who stood by me. Life is short. Football is temporary. But character lasts forever. I always tell young players, work hard, respect the game, and stay humble. Talent can get you far, but character keeps you there. I've built schools in Africa, supported children's hospitals, and helped during disasters. Not for headlines, but because I remember what it feels like to have nothing. If I can give someone hope, that's worth more than any trophy. I also know that someday I'll hang up my boots. I'm not afraid. I've given everything to this game. And I'll continue to give back, maybe through coaching, mentorship, or just being a good father. I want to raise leaders, not followers. I want my children to know that greatness isn't in fame. It's in kindness, discipline, and never giving up. So who am I? I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, a boy from Madeira who dared to dream. A man who fought every battle with sweat and tears. A father who kisses his children goodnight. A partner who found love in simplicity. A player who never stopped believing. And even after all these years, I'm still that boy who cries when he loses. Not because I'm weak, but because I still care. Always have. Always will.